Hello. No wires, no batteries. Press it, and instantly this glass goes frosty. It looks expensive, but you could build one yourself for around €30. Or you could just win this one. So, what am I hiding? Well, we all have a secret we want to enjoy, and at the same time hide it from nosy Parkers.
Whatever is in that box, it must be very precious.
Mine is a massive crush on the young David Essex. I built a shrine with this kind of snooper shield, perfect for toggling between privacy and gratification. And the magic that makes this panic button work, smart glass, or to give it its fancy name, polymer dispersed liquid crystal film, PDLC film for short. So how does it work? First, I'll explain the science, then I'll show you how to build one. The smart glass is a sandwich of two transparent electricity-carrying sheets with a special plastic layer in between. That layer is filled with millions of tiny droplets. Inside each one are countless rod-shaped molecules that can float like a liquid, but also have the ability to line up in an orderly way, almost like a solid. Power off. The molecules point in random directions, scattering light inside each droplet. The droplets are a few micrometers across, just a few times bigger than the wavelength of visible light. This physical effect appears in lots of places, where tiny droplets scatter light and make a liquid or material look cloudy. For example, pouring Ouzo, a Greek aniseed-flavoured drink, into water forms microscopic oil droplets that scatter light, turning the liquid cloudy. In the smart glass, the droplets aren't oil but liquid crystals. They scatter light in the same way and the window turns frosted. This is called scattering. Power on. A voltage is applied and an electrical field causes all the liquid crystals to point in the same direction. Light now passes through the droplets and the plastic without bending. It's like how clear ice almost vanishes in water. Side note, it turns out making clear ice isn't trivial, but that's another video. Anyway, enough sciencey nonsense, back to the build. What you'll need. You'll need some private stuff, PDLC film, and a transparent thing to put the film on. We use glass, but you could use acrylic. A remote switch, ideally one that doesn't use a battery. 3D printed feet for the screen, and a power supply and a 100 kilo ohm resistor. This build has 3 main steps: applying the film, wiring the switch, and sealing the connections. Step 1. The smart film is applied to the piece of glass. Step 2. Wire the PDLC film in parallel with a 100 kilo ohm bleed resistor on the 60 volt AC supply. The resistor safely bleeds off any residual charge when power is removed. Under certain conditions, the 60 volt AC can cause a mild shock, so always enclose live parts and handle carefully. Step 3. All 60 volt connections, including the bleed resistor for discharge, are sealed inside a small enclosure, making sure no live parts are exposed. Now for the demo. Tap the switch, and the glass goes frosty. Privacy achieved. Here's a few examples of things you might shield from snoopers. Maybe your love of tasty fruit is paired with a love of indulgent desserts. Or your love of books is punctuated by pleasing platitudes painted on driftwood. Or maybe just the simple pleasure of adoring a beautiful man with a glint in his eye and a narrowboat between his legs. The 3D printed files and all the stuff you need to make your own snooper shield are in our GitHub repository. To win this one, all you need to do is guess the mystery object behind the privacy screen and tell us what you think it is in the comments section. 1 correct answer will be selected at the end of October and we'll contact the winner to get their postal address. Thanks for watching.